consultation, my first one ever. So first successful business venture. So pretty big deal personally. But yeah, and I'm actually signing them on as a client. So I got my first client. So progress. But we're now about to take some protein aminos, just branched chain amino acids. But yeah, we're about to go and try my new gym out. So as y'all might remember, I recently moved, and we are now that my membership at the other gym has run out, we are going to be upgrading to a Lifetime next door. So excited about that. And yeah, I think it'll be cool. I'm excited to be in a nicer gym, and just excited about everything, man. Got my first client done. We got crypto blowing up, new gym back at my place, about to lock in. So excited about it, and I'll catch y'all later. All right, people. So we're back. It is Monday, January 6th. So that means the holiday break from my firm shutting down, along with the vacation days that I took, is over. So back to work on the 9 to 5s grind during the weekdays, which, I thought I made some decent progress towards what I needed to do for the time that I didn't have to do that. So I'm happy with how that went, but always a lot to do. So time to really put our foot down and get to it. So with being back with the 9 to 5, that being back in the picture, right? So busy season's about to start. And so what that means is I have to allocate a lot more time towards my job, which I'll talk about in just a second. But it's things like this that are a testament to, they're kind of a test to see how bad you want the life that you say that you want, right? So I say that I want to get out of my 9 to 5, and that I want to have my own firm, live my own life, have my own freedom that I want. And so times like this are a test for that. And obviously others have there's other people out there with a worse situation, right? Like, I'm not trying to pity myself for it. I'm just reflecting on the reality of the situation, that I'm going to have to be really disciplined with how I'm allocating my time, right? So I kind of wrote down essentially how my weeks, are going to look roughly. And I might make a separate video about time allocation and my thoughts on how to allocate your time as an entrepreneur who's still stuck in the 9 to 5, who also wants to maintain their health and their fitness. So I might make a video about that coming later in the week. But anyways, so I'll be having to do a minimum of 55 hours each week. So that's roughly how I plan to divvy that up, is roughly doing 10 hours each weekday with 5 hours on Saturday, right? That's what I did last busy season, and that worked best for me. I tried a couple different routes, but that's what worked best for me and how I didn't get burned out, right? So 55 hours minimum, could be more, but we'll, for the sake of this, just say 55 hours. And then also I'm gonna give about an hour and a half a day towards fitness. So that could be lifting in the morning, travel to the gym, shower after the gym. I'm gonna try and sauna still, 3 times a week or so. So roughly 1.5 hours a day for that. And then 2 meals a day. So we'll say each of those is 45 minutes, right? So that adds up to 10.5 hours per week. So you have 168 hours total in a week. Subtract all of that out, that leaves about 43 hours in the week. So I've got the time, right? 43 hours. If you work on the business for 43 hours in a week, you're gonna make a lot of progress. That's a full work week, right? So I've got the time, And that's assuming that I only sleep 7 hours exactly. So I've got the time, right? But that's assuming I'm perfect, right on schedule with zero distractions. But at the end of the day, I am a human, so naturally I'm going to get distracted. I'm going to make mistakes and not be a robot directly on my schedule. So the idea that I'm gonna be perfect with that 43 hours remaining and with the time allocated to every other thing, it's in life everything always takes a lot longer than you think, and that's just the reality of it, right? I think it's Ty Lopez says that if you think something's gonna take a year, you should go ahead and add double the time because it's likely gonna take double the time that you think. Something's always gonna come up, something's gonna go wrong, and it's just life. You can't control that. So I think in times like this where you're busy on several different levels, the goal is to do your best to continue to work towards the life that you want and the things that you want, but also allow yourself the freedom to make mistakes without completely berating yourself and acting like you're a failure, right? So if you can still spend, several hours a day, right, or even 1 hour, as long as you're moving the needle 1%, that's the key at the end of the day. It's just to keep moving 1% each day, because the consistency. I've said this several times. The consistency will compound, and eventually, that 1% will be 100%, and by then you'll have completely 2x your business, right? So you just have to keep pushing towards that and not let the outside distractions get to you, right? So like whether that's doom scrolling on TikTok, Instagram Reels, whatever, you can't let that get in your way. So yeah, sometimes it takes doing things like deleting that social media off your phone, keeping your phone strictly in one room on the charger unless you're using it, and don't take it anywhere else in your house. There's all sorts of the productivity hacks that people recommend that, in times like this, it's just what you got to do, right? So yeah, man, gonna be busy coming up. So just gonna put my nose to the grindstone and keep pushing. So we're gonna be winners. That's all it is. We're gonna be winners. We're gonna do it, and I have no doubt in my mind. So keep pushing, people. All right, people, so it is 9:45, just about. Still Monday, and I'm just kind of journaling right now. Been rocking the blue light blockers, try and get ready for bed while drinking some tea. But yeah, just been kind of journaling on the day. It's kind of a nighttime debrief. Sometimes I like to do this just to collect my thoughts at the end of a busy day and kind of think about what happened. So later in the day, after where I left off earlier, one of my buddies named Colin came by. So shout out Colin. We hung out, talked for a little while. We're actually going to start working together a little bit. So he's trying to get into video editing. So he might, start messing around with that a little bit. And then also me and him, we've kind of, whenever we hang out, we always have really good conversations together that are, fairly productive, and we talk about some deeper concepts that, interest both of us. And so I think that we actually might, just start recording a podcast, just because it's things that if there's conversations and topics that we enjoy, there's got to be an audience out there that enjoys it as well. So our thought is just kind of, why not? At the end of the day, once again, it's just kind of documenting where we're at in life at that moment, and just, showing more of our authentic side that, this is our thoughts. These are our thoughts, and this is where we're at in life, and this is how we feel about certain topics. So I just think that it's something that it'll be a great way for us to bond, right? Even creative, it'll be a great way for us to create an even deeper bond than we already have. but also it'll provide for us to be able to articulate our words better and learn how to get our thoughts across, right? So it's a fun thing to do, and like, maybe some people will find it interesting, maybe some people will learn something from it. That's the ultimate goal of it, but also it'll help us build skills for our public speaking, so we're able to convey our thoughts better, and more clearly. So yeah, I've been kind of thinking about that. Also working on my first client's tax return. I'm not going to give too much information, obviously, but it's a bit of a tall task, especially for one of my first returns, working on my own. But I'm excited for the challenge, and something that I was reflecting on while I was journaling is just like, there's a lot I need to do in a day, and kind of as we mentioned earlier, how precious time is. It's like, no matter how much time we think that we're putting in, there's always more things that we can do to move the needle. But once again, as long as we're moving it that 1% each day, that's what matters, is that we're still continuously improving. The philosophy of Kaizen, where it's just the pursuit of continuous improvement. And so that's what we truly need to pursue, because if we do that, we're ultimately going to land where we want to land, right? But anyways, another thing that I was just thinking about is just how much I'm enjoying it. Like, the process it's one of the more enjoyable things I've ever done, right? So even though I'm just getting this tiny little glimpse of entrepreneurship and what it's about, it's fun, man. It's so much fun. It's one of the, even though what I'm doing might not be appealing to most, to me it's some of the biggest enjoyment I've had in life in a long time. And it's a feeling that I hope I can continue to have and cherish for, the rest of my journey, right? So I don't know, man. It's a lot of stress, a lot of it self-inflicted, but man, it's enjoyable. And I'm blessed to be in the position I'm at. So yeah, I think I'm gonna end off the video there. Hope all of y'all had a blessed holidays. Hope y'all continue to push to where you want to be and push to be better. So I'm gonna finish drinking this tea, do a little bit more writing on my thoughts, and I'll catch y'all next time.